Hey there, it's Carl from Passive Workforce, the firm that teaches people how to start, grow, and sell their companies. Today, I'm going to take you on a journey on how to start a staffing agency, particularly a medical staffing agency. But don't worry, these principles can be applied across multiple sectors. We'll dive deep into the key steps, tools, and tips to make your agency a success. Whether you're thinking of staffing for security, IT, cleaning services, or other industries, I've got you covered. Leveraging experience with my own staffing agencies, I'll share the insider knowledge to help you kickstart your journey. In this video, I'll be guiding you through the entire process, from setting up your agency, selecting the best software to manage your operations, all the way to acquiring your first client. Stay tuned as we unveil the blueprint for starting your staffing agency, ensuring you're well equipped to hit the ground running. Your entrepreneurship journey in staffing starts right here, right now. Let's dive in. The first thing to tackle is understanding the staffing agency models. A staffing agency serves as a bridge between employees and employers, but there's more to it. Successful agencies master the art of comprehending the requirements of both parties, fostering relationships that are built to last. There are several models that you could consider for your agency. You have temporary staffing, long-term or contract-based staffing, temp to perm staffing, or direct hires. Each model offers unique advantages. The choice largely depends on your area of expertise, the industry that you're serving, and the specific needs of your clients. You could actually run all of these sort of agencies, but my preference tends to be on kind of continuous coverage. I like to be able to build my workforce up so that revenue is consistent. But there's others who don't want to deal with the hassles of managing payroll or managing contracts and only want to go out there and deal with a direct to hire audience. What I do recommend is that you really think about what matters to you. Do you want continuous ongoing revenue that's predictable because you're on these long-term contracts or these repeating contracts where you're filling shifts? Or do you want to just kind of be hands-off and focus on the recruiting aspect? What I've noticed is that a lot of people who function as HR recruiters who don't want the hassle of the day-to-day operations will focus on being a headhunter and doing the direct hires and just getting a commission for every placement that they make. This is a matter of personal opinion, so really think to yourself, what sort of agency do you want to be? What sort of responsibilities do you want to have? What sort of stress level do you want to have? And then pick there. You don't have to pick one lane. You could also choose to work on short-term contracts or even per diem contingent staff and occasionally do direct placements. Because what I found is that a lot of the hospitals and nursing homes and other employers, if they really like an employee, they might make an offer. And that's your opportunity to get a direct to hire placement fee. You don't have to be a one-trick pony. Consider doing it all. Now we're on to the heart of the matter, starting your own staffing agency. It all starts with a pivotal decision, choosing a specialty. Leverage your professional experience and network here. Once you've honed in on your specialty, the next phase involves crafting a thorough business plan. Think about market research, funding, and your overall marketing strategy. Then comes the legal side, registering your business or setting up your LLC, obtaining the necessary licenses in your state, and insurance. Finally, you're ready to build your talent pool and design a robust recruitment process. When working with our clients, I tend to advise them to start within the industry that they know best. Where are they currently working? Because if you start out with your own industry, you know the language of the industry, you already have contacts. Your friends and colleagues also are the professions that you most likely are going to place. It makes it a lot easier. It reduces the learning curve. For example, myself as an x-ray tech, I used to contract myself out to some of my early contracts to orthopedic practices and to MRI and imaging suites. So you have to kind of think about it from that perspective. How am I going to be able to connect with the potential client? How am I going to be able to ensure that I'm going to find them the staff that they're looking for? All of these things are things that you should be considering to kind of give yourself somewhat of a competitive advantage. Now, when it comes to the legal aspect of things, it's really up to you to pick what sort of structure you're going to kind of organize your company under. I personally like using corporations for your typical business. LLCs, I tend to go with LLCs only when I'm dealing with assets. So if I'm going to create a holding company to acquire other agencies, or if I'm going to be holding real estate or other financial products, I would do that in an LLC because that's what they were really designed for. Corporations are usually less expensive and offer way different tax considerations. You have your classic C Corp designations, you have the nonprofit option, and you also could be an S Corp. So really, I feel like corporations provide more flexibility, they're cheaper, and I tend to lean to those. I've noticed a lot of people go with LLCs because it's a kind of a newer model, but I really don't see that it fits this industry. In addition to picking what sort of entity you're going to have, you're going to have to set up a tax ID number or an EIN number, which is more or less your company's social security number. It is the designator that's going to be used for all your employment activities. It's going to be on your tax returns. It is your company's, like I said, tax record number. So that's the 1 and 2 that are going to be done. But just because you have your entity set up and you have your EIN number, you're just at the tip of the iceberg of getting into the staffing industry. A lot of people think that I got my LLC and I've got my tax ID number, I'm ready to go. It's not that simple. There's a lot of other things to consider, and that's what we help our clients with. In our signature online course, Passive Workforce, we provide comprehensive step-by-step guidance to build your medical staffing firm. With a focus on personalized one-on-one assistance for our priority students, we help you establish your agency from scratch. We assist in setting up your business entity, crafting a compelling brand, securing the right insurance coverage, funding, and even creating your professional website. We also regularly release new videos covering topics that can take your business to the next level. So make sure that you subscribe to the channel and plug into what we have to offer. With Passive Workforce, you're not just starting a business, you're paving the way to a thriving future. In today's digital world, software is your key ally in managing your staffing agency operations. You're going to need email marketing software, a quality CRM, and a solid practice management software. When we started in my family business, we were almost entirely on paper. The only software that we had was Microsoft, the Office suites. We actually were running on a Lotus system first, and then we got Microsoft Office suites and so on. But as the world changed and technology has improved, software is a vital piece of our business. We even went ahead and created our own software by the name of On-Time ITS that helps us manage our practice. See, when you're employing people, you're going to need to maintain their records. So our software allows you to onboard people, onboard new applicants, store their documents like their nursing license, driver's license, social security card, documents that expire periodically, and it allows you to track those. If you're going to be maintaining a workforce, you're going to have to be compliant with state, federal, and sometimes local laws around that profession. Also, you're going to want a good scheduling software where you're able to keep track of who's working at what facilities and also linking that to an invoicing system. So our software does it all. When it comes to email marketing software, I think that ActiveCampaign is probably one of the best email marketing platforms out today. I've also used MailChimp and some of the others, but ActiveCampaign allows you to create these really interesting automations to help you kind of re-engage and tap into people who've potentially applied for jobs, to your prospecting list, and it's just a really interesting way of organizing your communication flow. If you're interested in checking out our software, which can work for home care agencies, medical staffing agencies, and really any other industry, definitely go over to www.ontimits.com and request a demo. Again, our primary focus is healthcare, but the software is open enough to allow you to use it for IT, for cleaning staff. So for any position that you're earning a fee for whenever that employee goes out to work, you could use On Time to track their schedules, track their time and attendance, what tasks they've performed, and so much more. So I definitely think you should check it out and see if it's going to work for your business. Once you have all this settled, you need to actually drive revenue. Let's discuss strategies for landing your very first contract. Landing your first contract might seem daunting, but with the right strategy, it's entirely within reach. Start with your existing network. There are potential clients right under your nose that might be your friends or even your family. Develop a compelling pitch, focusing on your industry knowledge and ability to provide top quality candidates. Remember to follow up consistently. Persistence is key. A lot of people tend to go after sectors that they know are in high demand, and what they don't realize is that it's not going to be that easy to convert contracts. You might think, oh my God, there's a huge nursing shortage out there. If I set up a nursing agency, the hospitals are going to be dying to work with me. And even though they may want to work with you, the actual sales process isn't as simple as you make a call and you convert about 50% of those calls. No, it's more important to have well-established relationships. So as you're getting this agency going, if you already are working in the industry that you're going to be staffing in, start talking to the decision makers. Let them know what you're up to. Let them know that you're starting an agency, what sort of staff that you plan on hiring, and let them know that you're going to be launching soon, because that's going to be your first feeler as to whether or not they're going to work with you. More often than not, especially in like the medical world, they already trust you. They know your work ethic. They've seen what you can do. And when you're working with the administrators or the chief nursing officers or whoever is the decision maker in your facility, once they know you, it's kind of like half the battle. They'll tell you more or less whether or not they could work with you, whether there's a conflict of interest, or even refer you to other facilities that are having the same sort of issue. So start with the people that you know, start with the people that already trust you, because that's going to be a lot easier than going in cold. However, if you are going to go in cold, you always want to make sure you try to get to a more intimate state of communication. Obviously, email marketing and email pushes are the most cold sort of sales funnel that you could try to attempt, because it's easy for somebody to mark you as spam or just delete your message without even reading it because they feel that they're being pitched. Phone calls are also a good way to start, but again, it's easy to tell somebody on the phone, I'm not interested, and hang up. So whenever you do make contact, you want to try to bring that conversation to a more intimate place, face-to-face, in a meeting room, because once people are meeting with you, getting to know you, talking to you, that's when they are starting to develop trust and more likely to work with you. Try to bring your conversations to an intimate point as soon as you can. And I'm not talking about dating people. I'm talking about proximity. As we go on, we'll dive deeper into each of these steps, arming you with the insights to start, grow, and sell your very own staffing agency. If you want more tips on how to get your agency running at peak, check out this video where I cover some of the strategies that I've used to help me generate over $75 million in home healthcare and healthcare staffing revenue.